From Cornwall to Birmingham and Johnston and Bexhill, here's Ruben Spire on the radio.
Hello to Bridgid Ferguson. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you, Ruben?
I'm very well, thank you. Can you tell me how long have you been a singer-songwriter for?
I have been a singer-songwriter for I've been writing songs for doodling, I call it, writing down little poems and little rhymes and things like that since I was a child. But when I got older, I started putting the words with music. And I play the piano and I also play the guitar, but I'm first a piano player because I started playing the piano when I was real young. But I would put my words with my piano music, and I would write out something and set it to the side. But I really started focusing on my songs a few years ago at the encouragement of a bandmate. And it just went from there. He's told me that I needed to be singing my songs out so everybody could hear them. And here we are.
So what was it like going to the recording studio for the first time?
Oh, it was wonderful. It was not necessarily the first time I'd been in a recording studio, because I've done some recording for other people where I've done backups on some backup vocals on some other people's work. And then when I was a kid, I did some backup stuff for some people. Or I say kid, when I was a young woman. But going in the studio to do your own songs, it's a whole different ball game. It's real exciting. And we did things the old school way, when you have the entire rhythm section on the floor and everything is being played at one time. You're not dividing it up into sections. Everybody's there. So it was awesome.
So can you more about your, I guess maybe your debut single called I'm Not Lost?
Okay. I'm Not Lost is a song that I wrote when I was on my way back from Chattanooga. I had Chattanooga, Tennessee. I had been on a gig with a friend of mine named Sam Brady and another band called Drew Sturchie and the Blues Tribe, and we had played at it's kind of like a river fest. The Tennessee River runs through Chattanooga, and we played Nightfall is what it was actually called. And I was on my way back, and I had my address back home to Mississippi, plugged in my GPS, and I got lost. And it took me off the correct path. And next thing I know, the road ended up in the country somewhere, and it black topped out, and then it was a dirt road. And I said, oh no, I really am lost. And so I stopped and I pulled out my map because my GPS was no longer working, and I was trying to find my way to get back. And when I was looking at my map, I looked around and I was like, man, this is really pretty. And then I tried to text my keyboard player, Sam Brady, that I was there with in Chattanooga. And I texted him and I said, I'm lost, Sam. And he said, oh no. And I made a joke and I said, but don't try to find me. And he said, what? And I said, no, I'm gonna be okay. So I got back on the road, and when I said those words, don't try to find me, I was like, oh no. Because you know how when you're writing a song, sometimes you hear something or you say something and you're like, oh my goodness, that's gonna make a good song. There's something about those words. So I had those words stuck in my head the whole way back home, and it was about a 6-hour drive. And I was singing into my phone. And anyway, that's how I'm Not Lost came about. I really was lost, but it's about getting lost. And I was paying attention after I had gotten lost. I was paying attention while I was sitting there to my surroundings, which was in the country. And it was live oak trees and red clover growing in the ditches and black-eyed Susan flowers. And it was really pretty. And it was quiet, and it was nice. So, and I was thinking to myself, sometimes it's not bad being lost. Sometimes you kind of do want to be lost, and you don't want nobody to find you, So that's kind of what my song is about. I'm not lost. Don't try to find me. I'm enjoying where I'm at right now. So.
So can you tell me more about single that you released recently called Traffic Lights?
Traffic Lights. Okay. Traffic Lights was released this past Wednesday, the November 22nd. And it's my second single off my full album. And I was sitting at the traffic light one day and daydreaming. And I got to looking at everybody sitting around me, wondering if they were daydreaming. And there was a jogger on the side of the street waiting for the light to turn so he could go across. And I was just wondering, wonder where all these people are going. You know, is this person in a hurry, or is that person in a hurry, or, you know, what's their story? And it ended up more words popping in my head. And I went straight home and wrote it in about 30 minutes at my kitchen table. So.
So can you tell me more about your debut album that comes out early next month, or the 1st of December, called I'm Not Lost?
Yeah. My full album comes out December the 1st, and it has 12 original songs on it. And then it's got one cover song. The cover song is Ode to Billy Joe. It's an old song. Everybody knows it. Written by Bobby Gentry. She's a Mississippi songwriter. But 12 songs of mine. There are a variety of different sounding songs. I'll say different genre, but like you and I were talking earlier about how the genres can be classified. If you sound a little blues, or to me, if you sound a little blues, if you sound a little country, if you sound a little rock and roll, it kind of lump it into Americana. But I've got a song on there that I consider my rockabilly song. I've got a song on there that sounds more bluesy, jazzy. I have a song on there that sounds like something you would hear Bob Wills sing. So, but my album, to me, they're my stories. It's very personal to me, very sentimental to me. They're my stories, and the music reflects music that I love, the music that I grew up hearing. So, and I hope when people listen to my album that they take the love that I poured into that album and they love it also. So
it's coming up to Christmas soon. Well, in the near future. So can you tell me more about your Christmas EP that you released called Seasons of the Newborn King?
Yeah, okay. It's just a 3-song EP. It's got 2 originals on there, and then it's got one cover song. The cover song is the band's Christmas Must Be Tonight. That's a great song. But my song, my first original song that's on there, I wrote last year, and it's actually the third one, the last one on there, and it's Cookie Cutter Hallmark Memory. And it's about Christmas get-togethers. My family always has a Christmas gathering, kind of like a family reunion. And everybody's personality is different. We all love each other, but we all have different personalities. And so it kind of talks about that in the song in kind of a humorous way. The fruit cake can't walk a straight line. Somebody's poured too much rum in the fruit cake when they were making it. You know, things like that. But and then there's another song on there that's sentimental to me. It's called Lights Aglow on the Bayou. It's a story of when we were children. My daddy's mother moved from the Mississippi Delta to the Arkansas Delta. And we would go through Vicksburg, Mississippi, and then on into Louisiana, Tallulah, Louisiana, to get to her house. And when we hit Tallulah, Louisiana, there was a little bayou that ran through town that had these little metal Christmas trees that stayed up year round. And whether they were lit up or not, I was always fascinated with those trees as a child. But when they were lit up at Christmas time, they were just mesmerizing to me. And even as an adult, the few times that I have driven through that town when those lights are there, lit up on those trees, because the trees are still there, it's just precious to me, and I just love it. And so I wrote that song, Lights Aglow on the Bayou, and it's me reminiscing about going to see my grandmother at childhood and seeing those trees and the feeling of sentimentality that those trees give me. And it has this album, the Christmas album, kind of has a swampy feel, more of like a bluesy country feel. So
you tell me that you do it's a duo and on your own. So can you tell me more about, you got a writers' round coming up very soon in Nashville? Can you tell me more about that?
oh yes, I will be singing at a songwriters round in Nashville on December the 11th. At it's called the Nash Bash, and it is going to be at a place called Alley Taps. So I'm really excited about that. This will be my first time to do a songwriters round in Nashville. I've done a couple, or actually more than a couple, around here, but I've never done one in Nashville before. So this is going to be really neat. I can't wait.
So you're also in with your band. So can you tell me more about the members of your bands?
My band, okay. I've got a great band. My band is called Bridgid Ferguson and the Good Bars, like the candy bar. There's a candy bar called the Good Bar. But anyway, Bridgid Ferguson, the Good Bars. My lead guitar player is Jeff Reynolds. My keyboard player is Andy Henderson. My drummer is James Jenkins. And then my bass player is Mike Thorne. But they're all great guys. They're seasoned musicians. They've been around for, good gracious, 40, 50 years, maybe longer than that.
So can you tell me who's independent artists for you?
Who are my favorite artists?
No, how's being an independent artist for you?
How what it's like being an independent artist?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love doing my own stuff, being able to play my own music and see how people take it, you know. Sometimes I play cover songs with my full band also, but sometimes I'll play an original song. When I first started playing my original songs out, every now and then I would play an original and not announce that it was my original. I wanted to see what their reaction was. Well, when I immediately saw, they gave me a good reaction, I would tell them, oh, that's my song. And as I started getting good feedback from them like that, I just kept adding my material and I guess getting a little more confident, you know, because it's kind of, you feel kind of vulnerable at first when you're throwing your songs out there, because they're your feelings, and you're throwing your emotions out there and wondering how are those people going to react to your emotions that you've spilled out on paper, and you know what I'm saying? And when it's received well and you get good feedback, and when they start singing your songs, when they know your songs, that's the best feeling in the world. At Thanksgiving yesterday, my 15-year-old nephew was singing my song, and I was so shocked, you know. I looked and I said, "That's my song," and he said, "Oh, we've been singing it at deer camp." I said, "Okay."
So, are you going to write any new music in the near future?
Oh, yes, I'm writing all the time, so I'm still writing. I'm actually there's an acoustic album that's going to be in the works soon, so we've already got the songs for that. We've just got to get to recording. So, yeah.
And finally, can you tell me, listeners, where can I find you on social media?
I am on social media. That's probably been the biggest challenge. Good gracious, keeping up with social media, but it's fun. It's real fun. I am on Facebook, and it's all under Bridgid Ferguson, and my name is spelled different. Bridgid, and then Ferguson, Ferguson. I'm probably the only Southerner here with Bridgid that's spelled like that. But I'm on Facebook, and then I'm also on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube.
Thank you for letting me chat to you today.
Thank you so much, Ruben. I enjoyed it.
Enjoy the rest of your day,
You too.
and I wish you all the success.
Thank you so much.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.